Hello everyone, Happy New Year 2019, can't believe it, and it's been a year since we last worked on this beauty. There are two main things left to do. One is to complete the arm of the dragon. This is the dragon in the fairy vase, by the way. I'm going to widen my little sketch a little bit, and I'll see if you can have a look at that. I have no idea if that's in focus or not. Anyway, in the middle of the sphere that the dragon's claw is holding will be a fairy trying to escape. And because the fairy has got to appear to be inside the sphere, it will be surface engraved. So very, very lightly engraved, but still achieving all the shading and depth that we get with deep intaglio engraving. So that'll be a good exercise. The reason why it has to look shallow is because I have to be able to put a shine over the fairy, also to show that she is inside this shiny sphere. And if I engraved her deep, then any shine that you add at the end over the top of her is going to be all lumpy as it goes in and out of the intaglio engraving. So she has got to be surface engraved, but she's still got to look real and nicely shaded. And then of course the rest of the arm, which comes from the back all the way down to the claw in the front, that will be deeply engraved. And a lot of fun because it's fantasy, so we can, even though I've sketched it, I can make it up as I go along. And right, there you go. Let's get on with it. Hi there, I'm back. You may notice I'm wearing something different because yesterday when I started this video, I then went off to play golf. So, right, we're back. I've been trying to use my mobile phone as a remote control, which I'm supposed to be able to do, but that wasn't working too well because I was getting an enormous echo, which I wasn't sure how to get rid of. I tried. Anyway, so to not waste any more time, here we are again with the vase. Now, as you remember, I with some glasses, a mask, a simple disposable mask. I do have a very large dust extractor, but obviously with all the noise, I'm trying to keep the noise down so that you can hear me clearly. And so the mask will take its place. We will be using a lot of water, so the water keeps the dust down and not only lubricating the diamonds, but it, as I say, keeps the dust down, so you're not breathing in so much, and it's with the water it's clearer to see as well. And my water setup is this very, very complicated, very expensive contraption. This is hanging from the ceiling. It's a low ceiling, I'm up in the loft, and I have a two-way gang valve which you can buy at a pet store that sells items for fish tanks, because that's apparently what it is. And I have got obviously the one end going in there and the other end dripping. So I hang this up, and to get it going, I've just splashed water in my eyes. To get it going, I open it up and water. Watch that come down. And here it comes. So it's pouring out. Water over my face. And I'm just going to tighten that until it is literally just drip, 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 There we go. And I've got used to holding it in this hand while using the drill in this hand, but you can set it up so that it's dripping from something else. You know, there's so many things you can do actually for yourself, but I'm just used to doing this. Right, that's the water, and of course your headband magnifier, which is somewhere. Here it is. Mine is ancient. Anyway, it is obviously makes it clearer and you're not straining your eyes, and that's really important, because also you can see tiny detail that your average person picking up your engraving to have a look at can't see that close, and so it looks really good. It's important, especially if you've got older eyes like I have, to wear something that's going to make it bigger and clearer, and your brain thinks you're working on something huge and you're working on something teeny tiny, and it just makes life much easier. And quite frankly, I get more eye strain working on the computer than I do in glass engraving. So best to have good magnification, and this is just a jeweler's one. And if you're a lady like me and I don't like having dents in my hair, I just pop it out. Dearie me. My students usually laugh at me when I do this. I'm far too vain to have squashed hair. Okay. Right, that's all me done. And I forgot to mention this. Preferably not as tatty a black piece of cloth as I've got, but my cloth has a lot of history. But a dark background to show it up, and a good light coming in preferably from behind, and so that you can see what you're doing, especially when it's wet, because when it's wet it kind of disappears a little bit, but with good lighting you can see what's going on. Right, let's see what I can show you. This is really difficult to set this up. Now, ignore the little scribblings I've done, because that's just a rough idea. And what we're trying to do is layer. Oh, how much can you see? Possibly enough. And I've started a couple, so you're going deep and then shallow, and then anything that's overlapping, deep and then shallow, and deep and shallow, and deep, and then flicking up shallow. I'm using quite a big rough burr, but any rough little edges I will be smoothing out, so but it's to instantly get that depth. It's so gratifying just to carve into the crystal like butter. And every one that I'm doing is on top of the previous one, or the one in front of it. Now I've just towel dried it. It will dry quite light. You'll be able to see it properly as it goes a little bit whiter. Okay, and if I take now a smoother sort of burr, this burr is the other one. The previous one was a rough diamond. This one is quite smooth. It's also diamond coated, but it's quite smooth. And I'm going to wet it again. Okay, and I'm going to very lightly go into the spaces, and it's so nice and smooth. You can do this with a stone as well, and it is now just sort of You're hardly touching it, so what you're doing is getting rid of little chippy bits, because I don't want those. There's a nice one there, get rid of that. Whatever we're doing now is nowhere near the finished product anyway. We're still kind of preparing the canvas, if you like. We'll dry that again. And then I'm going to take something like this big grey rubber, and you watch this little bit of magic. Let's just dry that off. See if I can zoom in any closer. No, I can't zoom any closer. Oh, I can. Oh, look. And this big old rubber is going to very quickly just pick up He's got a sort of a dotty effect. And we can add textures and whatever we want to those later on. But it's given a nice, and that's quite rough actually. When I say rough, it's quite deep. Okay. Right, now I'm getting in to some of the big chaps. So I'm going quite deep. Quite a big burr for the time being. Quite rough diamond. You see that comes down to the surface. This one will be deeper, giving the impression that it's upper. I can give them spiky points later on, but for the time being, that's all I need to do. See if the shading, the light will pick it up. Without doing much, that's already looking like it's 3D, in that all I've done is a bit of diamond. If I use this rubber again, for example, even as rough as that diamond is, this will pick up the edges. Right, I've just stopped for a nice lunch. Oh gosh, I must oil this chair. Anyway, nice lunch of soup, and it's very important to have water as well. You must hydrate while you're engraving. So I've got my glass of water over there. And I thought I'd give you a little tip. Often my students say to me, oh, I don't like wearing a mask with my glasses because it fogs up. So yes, if you put your glasses on and then your mask on, that will fog up pretty quickly. So very simple. Put your mask on and put your glasses over the top, and it's already defogged, and I find it's absolutely fine. It's quite tight around the edges, so I am breathing literally through this little thing, and it's not fogging up my glasses at all. So just remember that. Put the glasses on top of the mask and not the other way around. Right, I'm going to take a little rat's tail. Oops, where are we? I don't even know where we are. There we go. A little rat's tail, which is quite worn down actually. But what you do with them is put a stone or another diamond into your drill and literally just oops, you can't see that. Literally just sharpen the top, turning it slightly, and it just takes you down to fresh diamond. It's obviously quite a lot fatter than it started off, because initially that very tiny end. You can hopefully see. Let's do another one. I'll dry this because it's very difficult for you to see with the lighting, and I've put some sharp points on. What I'll do now is I'll actually show you what I'm doing, but I'll work dry so you can maybe see it a bit clearer. It's just, as I say, working wet gives the diamonds more lubrication so that they cut sharper. But so this is what I was doing, working wet. Working wet makes them last a lot longer as well. And just to demonstrate, I'll show you what that's gonna look like. But by running a little white Arkansas stone and just rubbing very slightly or lightly over the edges. You can see I've come right down to the top. This is now upside down, of course. I've come down to the top of the vase, and I've not gone deep on the edge. I've just tapered it out, but I'm going to get the effect of it by having this dark line showing what looks like the edge of the Sharpie bits, without them actually being deep, because I don't want to ruin the edge of the very thick vase. Anyway, I'll carry on making sharper points and then get back to you. Right, a few more sharp points. Well, actually lots and lots more sharp points. Right, now I've done a lot of the sharp bits of the scales, and I'm going to again run over them, oops, hang on, with a white Arkansas stone to pick up the edges. And it also is going to get rid of the little chippy bits, if there are any around. I'm going to add some more shading as well, but this is going to be the darkest bit of shading. So you'd be interested to see, in fact, what it looks like from the other side. I'll just zoom out a little bit. Oops, wrong way. What can you see? Can you see that? It's a bit of fun, isn't it? Bumpy, bumpy. Because I'll do more shading and possibly more texture, I'll blend these two so that they go a bit better together. Then we've got to do, I'm going to go straight in with the soft grey rubber just flicking up from the bottom. I like the roughness of this diamond. This is a rough old dragon. And he's been around a long time. He's never done any skincare. Creams and whatever. Okay, so while we're here, should we do a bit of, let's see, do a bit of the big jobs on the side. Big diamond. I'm going to start here because I've got to be careful when I go to the edges. This is actually quite a smooth diamond. Again, the deepest bits will be that bit there that's on the outer edge. And I'll fade it in here. Likewise from the base. That's the deepest bit. So the next one will be deep again, because I've kept that bit shallow. This is going to be overlapping slightly. Shallow there, shallow there. Deep there. Deep here and shallow. See that? Dry it, and then I'll show you the shading of it. Right. just so that you can basically see what it's going to be like. Soft grey rubber. Gentle bit of shading. And so on and so forth. Look from the other side. Oops. I think he's going to be quite a lot of fun when he's finished. The fairy might not think so, but the reason I'm working upside down, because a lot of the strokes towards you are easier sometimes than pushing away. Certainly easier than sideways. So sometimes you just want to pull it towards you, and so moving the glass around a bit makes it easier. Can you see that? No. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. Oh wow. Okay, this is weird because for the first time I'm going to use my mobile phone as a remote. So I've just tried to set it up. It's hilarious. So I've lost my on-screen, my on-camera screen. It's now on my phone, so it's actually quite difficult to see, to be honest. Right. Let's see. I'm going to attempt to zoom in. Yeah. Oh, right. No. Yes. Yeah. Brilliant. Okay. Is it coming? I'm making this look difficult. It is not at all difficult. Coming. No, it's not.